State of the Union address, I proudly declare that we are in the midst of the great American comeback, and we're just getting started. After 3 years of ridiculous witch hunts and partisan Democrat crusades, by the way, I think they're starting another one. Did you see that? I see these phonies, these the do-nothing Democrats. They said today that Putin wants to be sure that Trump gets elected. Here we go again. Here we go again. Did you see it? A story. Aren't people bored? Now, does that include, because a couple of weeks ago, Crooked Hillary said Chelsea Gabbard, right? Tulsi Gabbard, and, right? She was a Russian agent, Tulsi. And also Stein, from Jill Stein. I don't know Jill Stein. I never met the woman. She is a Green Party candidate, or was. They said she's an agent of Russia. Now, I don't know her, and I don't know Tulsi. The only thing I know about both of them is they're not agent. They are not agents of Russia. These people are sick. That's pencil neck. Pencil neck again.
Yeah, you know Tulsi. You met her in November 2016.
No, I just see it again. I was told that was happening. I was told a week ago. They said, you know, they're trying to start a rumor. It's disinformation. That's the only thing they're good at. They're not good at anything else. They get nothing done. Do nothing, Democrats. That Putin wants to make sure I get elected. Listen to this. So, doesn't he want to see who the Democrat's going to be? Wouldn't he rather have, let's say, Bernie? Wouldn't he rather have Bernie, who honeymooned in Moscow? Wouldn't that be? These people are crazy. That's all they think about. They don't think about the country. They don't think about jobs. They don't think about lowering your drug costs, infrastructure. These people are crazy. Trust me, I like what we're doing, and I love this country. I love this country. Now, and I campaigned on it. At the same time, we want to get along with Russia. We want to get along with China. We want to get along with all these countries. Who the hell needs to have conflict? But these people are sick. They are sick people. The radical left's attempts to poison our democracy and overturn the last election have totally ended in a big fat failure. And by the way, you saw it today? Single best day I've ever had in the polls. And any poll that the fake news gives you, because the real numbers are higher, but any poll they give you is a fake. But Wisconsin, the great state of Wisconsin, I was leading by many, many, many points against every one of these characters. Can you believe it? We got a new one, Mini Mike. How did he do in the debate the other day? Mini Mike! Here's a box, Mike. Here, Mike. Boom. Mini Mike. He was a beauty. What happened? He couldn't breathe. What happened? Mike would like to know. How about that Pocahontas screaming at him? She forgot. She forgot that she lied about her own heritage. She said she was an Indian because she had high cheekbones. That was the only thing. Remember when I said I have more Indian blood in me than she has, and I have none. Right? I have none. To the best of my knowledge. Wouldn't mind having some, but I happen to have none. And she choked, and she went out and got a report done. 1,024. You know what that means? That means probably I do have more. Now, why did he bring that up when she was screaming at him? Why? Because he was gasping for breath. I can't breathe. He thought, I can't breathe. She's hitting me too hard. Pocahontas. Well, she won that debate because Mike could not respond. That's what they all said. They all said that. That's funny. They're all shouting. It's not me that's saying it. Fake news. You fake news people. No. No. They all said it, though. Who won the debate? Trump. You know what? The way I look at it, when fake news CNN, oops, there goes the camera off. Red light just went off. See, I can tell every one of them. I know them by heart. I know the operators. I know the cameramen. They're okay. They're all on our side, by the way. They're screamed at, get that camera off. I don't want to do that. Get that camera off. It's going to be a job. All right, I'm sorry, President Dick. But how about MSDNC? They're worse than CNN. And they're owned by people that really are bad. I think they're very bad for our country. The owners of Comcast, rotten company, bad for our country, very bad. They try, they have all these PR things to try and keep their image nice and clean. What they do on television is so disgusting. I think in the old days you had to have licenses for this stuff, right? They can say whatever they want to say. Let's see what happens over the next period of time. Bunch of dishonest people. Comcast, terrible company, terrible people running that company. And you know what? I had Celebrity Apprentice. I had The Apprentice on for 14 seasons. 14 seasons. And they used to come to my office and they would kiss my ass. Please sign. Please sign. Please. Please sign. It's an interesting story. They came and we signed. You know who signed me? Jeff Zucker. It's one of the only things he's done good in broadcasting. But I signed, and NBC, as you know, is owned by Comcast. But I signed, and they figured the show would be a total failure, so they only signed me for one season. I was going to have it. It was going to go on. And then the show started at 10, went to 8, went to 7, went to 5. Went to 4, went to 2. It went to 1. I had the #1 show on all of television. #1. It was a phenomenal, and the final episode, remember that? Do you remember that? Do you remember the final? We had, I don't know, it was like one of the biggest shows of the year. It was a tremendous success. But here I was. I signed with NBC. And they didn't even want to waste the ink on an option. Usually they have an option for, just like, they didn't do it, you stupid people. So they paid me very little for the first season. I think $25,000 a show, which is, considered like not good. That's okay. It was fun. I didn't know it was going to be successful. Hey, just like this was successful. It's a reason. Because when I left, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I like Arnold said some very nice things the other day, but the show did not exactly succeed when I left. But I had it on, and they wanted me to sign for more, and I said, no, I'm going to run for president. But I'll never forget, I didn't know anything about this business, and I had an agent, wonderful guy from William Morris. And he said, sir, I don't want you to sign. No business show has ever done well on network television. Well, it's not business, it's entertainment. It's a lot. Sir, I don't want you to sign. Sir, don't sign. I said, yeah, okay. But I have a problem. I shook the hand of somebody. I have to. And Mark Burnett was great. He was my guy. But we shook hands, so I have to. But I agreed, I didn't know that no business type show had ever succeeded on a network television. So he said, I don't want you to sign, sir, break it. I said, I can't break it. Anyway, so the show, I said, started at 10, went to 9, it was the #1 show all of a sudden. And the agent called me up. And he said, sir, I remember it was 6 in the morning, I was in bed. He said, sir, the show just went to #1. I'd love to see you because I think I'm entitled to more money. I said, you didn't want me to do the show. Well, not really. I was okay. He said, I'd really like more money. I said, Jim, I like you very much. Jim, you're fired. Get out.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had 14 great seasons over about 11 years because it was so successful. They kept it. They would have run it. Remember when they did the 3 hours? The whole night was The Apprentice. They said, wait a minute. Gone with the Wind, to mention the movie the second time. Gone with the Wind is shorter. They had The Apprentice on for 3 hours. I said, even I get, it's too long. You can't put it on for 3. You got to leave them a little bit like, I want to come back next week. But they had it on for 3 weeks. We did fantastically with it. Comcast did great. NBC did great. They wanted me to sign for another 3 years. I said, no, I'm going to run for president. And that was actually the time when I knew I was going to run. Because, you know, they were paying a lot of money. And whether you're rich or not, it's still a lot of money. I don't care how rich you are. It's a lot. It's millions and millions of dollars. And I said, no, I'm going to run for president. And I did that. But from the day I ran, they went from being, you know, wonderful. They were nice. They were, you know, they were nice. I guess if I didn't do well with the show, they wouldn't have been nice because they weren't nice to other people that failed. You know, people that didn't have good ratings. That business is a very simple business. If you have good ratings, you can treat them like garbage. If you have bad ratings, you can say, sir, I really respect you so much. Get out of here. Get them out of my yard. They're very ruthless people. But Comcast is a rotten company. They forgot totally. And they are worse than CNN. I will tell you that right now. Comcast is worse than CNN. We should call it Comcast because that's their beautiful maiden name, Comcast. They're worse than CNN. I'll tell you something about CNN. Jake Tapper today, he put out, now I know you don't like him. I know, who likes him? Who the hell can like him? I think his wife likes him, actually. I really believe she does. But let me just tell you, he put out a couple of social media posts today, because I never call it tweet, I call it social media, because it's much bigger than tweet. What we have, Dan Scavino, the great Dan Scavino, we have on 5 sites. We're #1 on Twitter, we're #1 on Facebook, in the whole world, So it's powerful. But Jake Tapper put out some things basically saying, I believe it, that's the way I read it, that the new Russian thing that started yesterday, that Putin wants to be sure that Trump wins. Give me a break. Give me a break. But Jake Tapper said, it ain't so. And if he did say that, because they were a little complex, you know, they can turn him around. Or when Zucker sees him and said, why did you put that? I want that deleted and I want you to do a different one. But he did say that, so I respect that because it's another hoax story. But we're standing up for the defense of our Constitution, for our freedom, and democracy itself. You know that. Okay? That's what we're doing.